Welcome to the Sideline Podcast. It's episode 51. My name is Kevin Showalter. As always, my co-host is the one and only Jared Booker. How are you doing today, my friend?
Doing super well. Beautiful day here in Eastern Washington, and pretty excited for the upcoming weekend of football.
All right. If you love football and building community, go ahead and smash that subscribe button on YouTube.
Smash it.
For you audio listeners out there, we release an episode every Monday on Apple and Spotify. Okay, so before the show tonight, we wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about we've teased it in the last two episodes. Booker at the end of 2 episodes ago, I talked about it a little bit. We want to talk about the next 50 episodes. We can't believe we've been doing this for a year already. And we've been doing a lot of brainstorming off show of just kind of what does the future of TSP look like? What is the podcast? What is the live stream? What does our content look like? So we started as a C2C show-ish, right, Buck? You know, Campus to Canton. We both loved playing Campus to Canton. We're like, you know what? Let's start a Campus to Canton podcast. We dabbled in the fantasy football realm. I think we've come to realize that being a full-time fantasy football show is just not really our sweet spot.
Obviously, we both love fantasy football and we could continue to compete in fantasy football leagues, including Campus to Canton. But agreed, we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into just that single aspect of sports podcasting.
Yeah, and part of the process of this first year has been just figuring out what does life as a content creator look like, and what do we want to talk about? And we feel like we're in a good spot.
I feel like I'm in such a good spot. Any spot I'm in right next to you is a good spot, Kevin.
So we walked on to the podcasting, content creating world, and moving forward, we want to double down on that community side of our name, of our brand, of what we want to communicate going forward. We want to both have walk-ons on our show and friends of the show moving forward, a lot more guests, interviews, highlighting the strengths of the people that we know.
So for those of you who don't know what double downing is, if you think about a single down, just one down, just double that.
So friends of the show, this is pretty self-explanatory. This is people who have already been on the show, the Alos, the Tyler, the Crew Talk Boys, and others. We want to continue to have those guys on the show going forward, and other people that we've come to know via X, social media, other creators. We want to continue to bring those podcasts, those creators onto the show and highlight their strengths.
I don't know why this camera angle is screwing with me, but
so walk-ons. This one is a little bit more specific. Our idea moving forward is to call the listeners of this show the TSP walk-ons. But it goes further than that. If you mix it up on X or YouTube with Booker or I during the week, talking sports, trash talking Nebraska if you're a Michigan fan, trash talking Michigan if you're a Nebraska fan, we want to highlight those people on the show in a 15, 30-second video or call-in style to show your passion, your fandom, the teams that you care about. So walk-ons wouldn't be a full episode guest, but we want to highlight, again, the people we're talking sports with during the week. We want to highlight your teams, the big games. We love to talk about the big games on Saturdays, on Sundays, and this is another way to get our listeners involved in the show through these walk-on, call into the show type segments.
The true vision for a walk-on is not a negative thing, like the least talented individual on a team. What it's about is inviting people in who maybe normally wouldn't have the platform, because we believe everyone, if you're a huge fan of Oklahoma, I don't follow Oklahoma, but I want to give a platform. We want to give a platform to someone who follows Oklahoma, that has that knowledge, and talk about Oklahoma and why they think they're the best team in the SEC, or why they're going to make the playoff. And so it's about bringing you in and getting your take and then responding honestly to it. We may not always agree, but we take pride in the internet can be a toxic place, and we take pride in bringing people in and being able to share their views, even if we don't agree with them, because community is beautiful, and we want to create community around something that we both love. And so, if you're mixing it up with me I had a conversation with somebody about the Auburn-Oklahoma game this weekend, and he thought that Jackson Arnold was an absolute scrub and not playing well. I disagree. But that's perfectly fine. I DM'd him and said, hey, do you want to jump on the show, or do you want to send me a 30-second video? And if it fits in with the show, we'd love to play that video and respond to it. And so I want to bring people in who are experts on their team, fans of their team, passionate about their team, and give them that platform. And so that's a big piece of the TSP community.
And we won't get into this fully, but I might agree with with Jackson Arnold being a scrub this year. I've been very disappointed in the Auburn passing attack. And so, yeah, as you've seen on this show so far, that Booker and I don't always agree, but we are best friends and we enjoy building this thing together.
So even though this show started as a fantasy football or campus to Canton show, that will still remain a piece of this show, obviously. But the sports world continues even as football ends, even if for some of us it doesn't feel like that's true. And so as we head into March, we want to jump into March Madness. Kevin and I have been doing March Madness brackets, and the winner of the bracket gets the championship hat. We send it back and forth to one another. And so that's a fun tradition that we want to bring onto the show. But rather than it just being between Kevin and I, we'd love to have 100 people in on this and send you a hat if you win. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. There's opportunity to connect and keep community going. So the TSP community does not have to end when college football ends or after the Super Bowl. So teach us something. Let's interact. Let's throw a little competition in and make those seasons or those playoffs more interesting for us all.
There we go. Not our normal intro. How are you doing, my friend?
Man, it's been a freaking day.
Been a day. We won't go through a full intro, but you've been watching some football this afternoon?
I've been watching the football, and what I'm trying to do, so I'm having technical difficulties over here, and my computer, it's okay. We're flexible. We make it happen. There's tons to be grateful for. But for my birthday, I got this TSP helmet here.
That thing is fire.
Yeah, I don't even know how to show you because I'm on my phone.
That thing.
But I freaking love it. And I someday when we have an actual podcast. Oh, I put it on my chat.
Can you try that on for the listeners?
I'm trying to find
a full size. I'm ashamed you didn't. Yeah, that looks great. You should have gotten the full size helmet so you could have literally podcast in a helmet. Would have been sick.
That would have been next level.
We could have even got you a green dot, like you got your microphone set up. Get you the microphone in the helmet. just a thing. I don't know what the return policy is on that thing, but you might want to consider it. So
I'll think about it. There, I'm just going to stick with that. Doing well though, man. Super grateful to be here, watching college football. I turned the TV a different way, and this house is a mess at the moment. But I'm stoked to be here and talk about football. And I know we got some guests coming on to sharing that with us. So
right on. All right, and yeah, part of probably some people watching are like, why the heck was Kevin puking or pretending to puke? But yeah, we're powering through on my home front. Both my son and I have been sick the last couple of days with a stomach bug, so we're feeling good. That was a joking puke, and I don't think we'll have any real ones coming tonight as well. So we should be good. But yeah, been a good day. It's been the only downside of a sick weekend is we've been just hammering the football today. So I think it's the first college football game this year I've watched start to finish was Nebraska, Michigan. I've caught pieces of other ones, but start to finish, got that game. So I'm juiced up, ready to talk about it. So again, if you are a Michigan fan or a Nebraska fan, it's not too late. We've been kind of putting out some bird calls on X. Send us a DM. We'd love to pull you into the show here in a few minutes to, for Michigan to celebrate and for Nebraska to mourn with Will Compton on the loss of, I don't think it was the first ever Bussin' Bowl, but it really took off this year being called the Bussin' Bowl. So, I don't know to celebrate or to mourn. Go ahead. What you got?
I just don't know that Nebraska needs to come on and mourn, man. Like that team looks good, and Raiola is still young, and Ja'Cory Barney is an absolute stud, and that defense did slow down. I mean, Justice Haynes had a day, and obviously Bryce Underwood, barely 18. So there's a lot of years of Michigan being real good. Yeah. But Nebraska is not the same Nebraska that they were 3 years ago. So come on and mourn, but you have the same record as Michigan. So that's
Absolutely.
That's pretty great.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into some trivia here, as we like to do. See if we can. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. And there we go. My apologies in advance, Alo, if you're listening, for what's about to happen here to your Dolphins. I know you're trying to forget what happened on Thursday night, but Booker, what is Josh Allen's record versus the Miami Dolphins? Is it A 14-1, B 13-2, C 10-5, or D 10-6?
I'm going to go ahead and remove C and D. I think their record is much better than that. Miami is a good team. This year is a little bit of a down year as it seems, but still time to turn that around. I'm also going to toss. I'm going to go with B. I'm going to toss out A. I'm going to choose B because 14-1 just seems a little bit too good to be true. So I'm going B 13-2.
You're on it, man. You're on it. 13-2.
Sorry, Alo.
The first one was his rookie season. So really, since his rookie season, he's 13-1. The first loss was the first time he ever played them. So that is Tom Brady-esque domination of the AFC East. So got one more for you here. A little closer to my heart. If you get this one, I'll be impressed. I did tweet something about this week, but I don't know if you saw it. So how many rushing yards did the Eagles have against the Rams last year? They played 2 games, regular season, divisional round. How many rushing yards did they have?
Oh my gosh.
Good luck.
That's insane. Yeah, I mean it is going to be
any of these would
guess.
Be impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of them would be impressive. The last 2 years, so Saquon doing work. Last year, Saquon, what was he? He was within, I mean, he was less than 100 yards of the single season record. Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
Eagles fan?
Yeah, he was close. He was close. I don't remember the exact, but he was close.
Woo. Okay, I'm just going to toss one out because I really genuinely don't know this. I'm going C 549.
C 549, I believe. There we go. It's B 599.
Oh my gosh.
3.
Is that
so he had
Saquani? Does that say Saquani?
No, that's an exclamation
new name?
point. It could be a new name, but he had 7 runs over 60 yards last year, and 3 of them were against the Rams. So I think you can see where my NFL predictions are going to be leaning when we get to that. But yeah, I'm excited for all the Rams hype to come crashing down again tomorrow. So let me just try one thing here with our. Oh yeah, that does make us a little bigger on the right side.
While you're figuring that out, can I want to just do a little quick plug for my Saturday morning tailgate.
Yeah.
So this morning was a little bit of a crap show. I mean, everything to do with the pod today has been a little bit of a challenge, but I am not going to give up because neither of us are quitters. I'm just going to adjust. And so every Saturday before kickoff, we live in the Pacific Northwest, so the first college game kicks off at 9 a.m. Starting next Saturday, I'm going to move the tailgate up from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. So for one full hour, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm going to jump on X Spaces, and I just want to talk ball. I mean, I want to hear those fans that are excited about the game, that they're, whatever their whoever their team is playing, if they want to just come on and talk about it, I'd love to talk with you. It's just something. It's that community piece that was in our intro about let's interact. I know that a lot of us, including myself, enjoy just listening to content, but we really do want those folks who want to have a platform to talk about their team. And I promise you, I won't use the soundboard too much, but I will use the soundboard a little bit because I found out that X Spaces has a soundboard. And so, next Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., going live, and I'll sit there. I will just sit there and wait for all of you.
I love it. You are a sucker for a good soundboard. So I don't think I'd said this because I didn't want to do a full intro. Where we're going tonight on the show, we had trivia. Our first ever walk-on was going to be here. His name is Drew, Michigan fan and a Dallas Cowboys fan. Can you believe I was going to let a Dallas Cowboys fan on the show?
That's real.
Unfortunately, He had some anniversary plans with the wifey tonight. Enjoy your anniversary, Drew. Hopefully we'll catch you next week or sometime soon to celebrate Michigan. We might have to pump the brakes on the Cowboys, but yeah, that would be our first ever walk on. Had to push back. We've got news, which we're about to get into. We're going to recap college football, and then we're going to preview NFL Week 3. Again, we've got Tyler and Alo coming back on the show for more NFL predictions. So that's kind of where we're headed without further ado. So let's get into our news. I think the big one in college football this week, I'm sure you saw it, but we are officially down to one transfer portal in the NCAA. How do you feel about that decision?
I personally am good with it. I think the players should have the ability to enter the transfer portal, but let's rein it in. I feel the same way about NIL. Like, let's rein it in a little bit and create a system that is sustainable. And the amount of transfer portals that were available and just the different loopholes as to why someone could enter a transfer portal. It's like, if your head coach stubs his toe on a Wednesday, like, portal is open, and it's just too wild. And I love the idea of a team being able to build that camaraderie. I think a team with less talent that is playing as a team and playing together and knowing one another and how they play is actually going to be a more successful team than the team that just like transfer portals everybody in. They don't know each other, but there's tons of talent. There's a lot of value in that to me, and maybe I'm old school, but I like that.
No, I agree. I'm all about it. I think this might bring back spring games. I know that the big news this spring was nobody wanted to have a spring game because they were afraid they're going to showcase all their good players and they're going to get poached in the portal. So they were ending up calling them like spring showcases, which pretty much meant we're not going to put this on TV. So that way Bill Belichick can't be swiping our players. So it's good news. I think it's a good thing. I thought this was interesting that Diego Pavia, his attorney, applying for a 7th year of eligibility. We don't have to spend too much time on
I think that was debunked.
Was it debunked?
I don't think that actually happened. Someone put that out there as a joke, and I almost fell for it. But
there was a community note, but there was we'll look into that if it was debunked or not. But it would be crazy to have a 25-year-old Vandy quarterback against some 17, 18-year-old puppies. Would be just wild. But
man, that's like BYU.
It's connected guys coming back to the NIL. Because especially these guys, and I'm not saying Diego's not going to make it to the NFL, but now that you can get paid in college, I think you see more of this, of wanting to squeeze out every last COVID year, even though we're 5 years removed, because, hey, I can make more money doing this than if I go sell insurance next year, but I'm not going to make it to the NFL. So again, we digress. We keep it moving here. Over to the NFL news, we have, they're both connected. Just Mac Jones, second straight start for the 49ers. And then the big news in the NFL right now is just injury bug has hit all across the league. And so, sorry, 1 second, just trying to. Yeah, the big one was Joe Burrow out for 3 months. Brock Purdy out. Jaden Daniels out. You see in the picture there, we got Justin Fields out with a concussion. So, yeah, any thoughts on this? It's just the battle of the backups right now across a lot of teams. Any thoughts on all these injuries so far?
I don't know if it's a combination. It's probably a combination of some things, but it does seem like players are getting hurt more often now. I don't know if that's because people are just getting bigger, faster, stronger, or if people are just being more reckless. I don't know. The good news is, the silver lining is that it's early enough in the season. Give Mac Jones some real game time. Give, who would be backing up? Who would be backing up Jaden Daniels and Tyrod Taylor? I know
Marcus Mariota. Yep, Tyrod. Yep.
Yeah. So some of these guys that don't get I know those Mariota and Tyrod Taylor have both had plenty of playing time, but I think it's not the end of the world. Get your players healthy for the end of the season. So, but it is unfortunate, certainly.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Especially after you spend all that money on, McLaurin and and you got all those things with Jamar Chase and
Yep.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah,
it's
Jake Browning, man.
it's
Or
definitely
bust.
going to be interesting. So let's move here. So into college football, we've got the big one happening in Indiana tonight. Indiana's up 14-7. Looks like Illinois has the ball. Do you have that game on, or you're not watching it at the moment?
I'm not watching that one. The one that I currently have on is, and I won't delay or.
Let me guess, SEC.
I'm watching the SEC and the ACC. I'm watching Miami and Florida, and Florida's defense is looking a little. They're putting up a little bit of fight there in Hard Rock. So
Okay.
I think Napier might have a chance at saving his job here.
Yep.
Although Miami is they're stout. I don't know.
You're just plucking Alo's heartstrings here before he gets on, just hyping up Miami. So
I love Miami.
Well, I will have the Indiana Illinois game on because that's the biggest game as far as mutually ranked teams tonight. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated as those are happening and get into some of our matchups from earlier in the day. So this is our first one. I watched a good bit of this game as well. Did you see any of this game?
I did, and I've got one. You go ahead and say what you're going to say, but I've got one highlight that I am excited about for Texas Tech.
Yeah, why don't you just kick us off? I don't have anything major, I don't have any bombshells I'm trying to drop on this one. I just wanted to jump into this game. So I was shocked. That was kind of I thought Utah was not going to lose by 24 points. And I know some of this was junk time, and but still, I was shocked. I was shocked that Utah at home took a beat down to Texas Tech. Their backup quarterback looked good. But yeah, I know you've been more on the Texas Tech train, I think, than I have. And I was like, Utah is like big, physical, tough team, kind of not your typical Pac-12, not your typical Big 12 team. But yeah, I did not see this 24-point beatdown coming. But what do you got for us?
Well, yeah, 24 of those points did happen in the fourth quarter. Utah kind of crumbled there, but it was a lot closer of a game for most of it. Will Hammond is the story. So Texas Tech quarterback coming in after Baron Morton goes out and goes 13 for 16 for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like his QBR was 96.2 as a backup. So I don't want to speak too. I'm not sure Texas Tech is going to be in a huge. Maybe this is too much to say, but I don't know that Texas Tech is going to be in a huge hurry to rush Baron Morton back. Like Utah's defense is no joke, and he came in there and he was slinging it. He was dropping dimes, and he's got some Lamborghinis. He can move too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. He rushed 8 times for 61 yards, and so. The guy can move. He's a stud. If you're in a campus to Canton, I'm just showing my cards. He's someone that I'm looking at.
Booker is going after this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got tons of quarterbacks on my roster at the moment, but I think this guy's a freshman, and there were a lot of teams trying to get this guy to come play for their program in a lot of elite teams. And so Will Hammond is the real deal at Texas Tech. I said in one of our shorts earlier this week that the winner of this game, I'm picking to win the Big 12. And I think Texas Tech is it, man. Their defense looks a lot better this year than it did last year, and that offense is humming. I
was very impressed with how good the defense looked. Obviously the points, but you see 24 points in the fourth quarter. Again, I was impressed that Texas Tech was hanging in there, and what a turnaround. I mean, I saw the play when Morton went out early. He was kind of banged up. They brought in Hammond. And they just easy handoff. Like, okay, they don't trust the backup. They're not going to let it rip with this guy. But then they kind of said on the broadcast too, hey, if you're in the Texas Tech pipeline, it's probably because you can sling the ball. And so, he clearly, I don't know if there's quarterback controversy here or not, but yeah, he clearly can play. And I'm sure with a week of preparation, but Morton's still the guy. He's one of the top quarterbacks in NCAA this year. I think, it was crazy. He was banged up, and then the next play, he was running downfield, diving head first. I'm like, this guy's an absolute gamer. So a little bit of a down game for Dampier. I was kind of high on him earlier in our preview video, and, this is not what you want to see. This is kind of the week of college football where you see who's legit and who's not. Everybody can beat up on cupcakes except for, Florida, Clemson, some of those teams that have lost. Was it Army that lost to Tarleton State? Was it Army?
No.
I don't know. everybody can beat up on cupcakes except for a couple of those teams. But
Yep.
you really, as we get into conference play, you see, okay, who can actually hang in their conference and who is just beating up on Tarleton States. So let's move along here. So this game, Oklahoma Sooners, Auburn Tigers, Jackson Arnold, man. I don't understand. And I know, again, that even in our intro video there, you were mixing up with somebody of, you're more pro Arnold, I think, than I am. Or he didn't even run the ball in this game, like 21 carries for negative 11 yards. What were you doing? I mean, that's like you're running for your life, but not even well. Like, throw it away, man. Like, you're not. I don't get it. I mean, I wasn't expecting Auburn to be world beaters this year, but when I see Cam Coleman 3 for 88, I'm like, why didn't he have 10 catches? Like, feed this man the ball. Not, again, I'm speaking because of my Campus and Canton investment, but also, like, yeah, I just don't understand why you can't just feed him the ball more than they have been. What say you of this game? Did you watch this whole game?
I did. I watched this game. I am eating my own words. I am, when I say that I'm willing to be wrong, it's true. I'm willing to be wrong. Jackson Arnold, watching him play against a really good team in the Oklahoma Sooners, which I put Oklahoma in like the tier 1 of my power rankings. I think they're the real deal. They had a record number of sacks. I think they ended with 10 sacks today. So, and I was watching Arnold, like, he was overthrowing. He threw the ball to Cam Coleman. He had Cam Coleman open several times and like overthrew him. So he is the problem at Auburn. And I don't know what they do there. I don't know what Hugh Freeze does, but Deuce Knight is an interesting.
Yeah, that's where my mind was going.
An interesting thought.
That's exactly where my mind was going. So, and my question going into this game was, can the Oklahoma passing attack or the Auburn rushing attack? And I don't know how. Again, I would put Oklahoma in the same category as the Texas Tech, where this is an impressive thing to hold the Auburn running game to 36 carries for 67 yards. Again, they were pummeling teams with the run game. And if you can't throw it, Jackson Arnold, then you better be like scooting for more than negative 11 yards when you're a dual threat quarterback. You're not, I mean, John Mateer can run too, but you're not just a statue back there. Like, figure it out, find a way to get some positive yards. And again, offensive line is a big part of that, but
the offensive line looked atrocious.
Yeah.
And Damari Alston was back from injury. So it was Jeremiah Cobb and Damari Alston sharing carries back there. And I think I only saw 1 or 2 runs that looked like, wow, they broke one off, so that offensive line there did not have their best game either. And Jackson Arnold did not help.
We're not actually going to cover this game tonight, but we got to put this one up here from Jayhawks 546 RIP Clemson. It is
Dabo is gone. Dabo is gone.
Here's my thought. I don't even know if this is a hot take, but is Dabo playing 3D chess? He's not trying to get fired, but Dabo gets fired. Kalen DeBoer is going to get the axe. Dabo is coaching Alabama. I don't know.
I don't know that Dabo has the foresight for that, but I do think Dabo will. Dabo's a great coach, but he's not the Nick Saban of Clemson. I think with the amount of talent they've got there on both sides of the ball, there is absolutely no excuse. And so I think that he needs to be gone. And actually, if I were him, I would almost. I don't know. Can you do that? Can you just resign and go pick up another job, man? Like get out of Clemson.
I saw an X to mutually part ways, could they would do something like that. He's done so much for the program, but brutal. So
absolutely brutal.
We're going to move along here. This is the big one. Again, I don't think we have any Michigan or Nebraska fans tonight, but this would be a sweet spot to drop a little walk in to celebrate with Michigan or to mourn. I know you said we shouldn't say mourn for Nebraska, but the hype train, I mean, this was Chicago Bears level hype train with Nebraska. It's year 3. This is it. Like when people are saying it's year 3, they're not saying like go 9-3 in the Big 12. Like they're like, hey, we can win a natty. We can be, a top 8 team in the playoffs. Like that's the expectation. And so this was a litmus test in the Big Ten. And I don't know if you could pull up Nebraska's schedule here. One thing they were saying towards the end of the game was how easy Michigan's schedule is this year in the Big Ten. So, like, they have a legit shot at competing in the Big Ten, where Nebraska, I'm guessing they've got some big games down the road. And if they couldn't,
their schedule is rough.
Yeah. So it's like, if you couldn't handle Michigan at home in a game that you could have won, good luck against Oregon. Who do they got? Do you want to pull up their schedule there?
I got it right here. So
yeah, go ahead. Who do they
next
got for us?
week? Oh wait, is this there? Oh no, you know what? I apologize. I think what I did there. So they play. So actually, it's not as rough as I thought. They do have some big games coming. Maryland's been so Michigan State next week. Or no, they've got a bye. It looks like they've got a bye, and then they've got Michigan State. Maryland. Maryland's been playing well, but then Minnesota, Northwestern, USC has been playing well. UCLA is a dumpster fire, and then Penn State and Iowa. So that's it. I think that maybe Michigan on this schedule, from my opinion, Michigan, USC, and Penn State are really the only ones that are like toss-up / maybe they just get slapped around and the brakes beat off of them. But they've got a decent schedule.
And it could be, I mean, if they run the table, that Penn State game is late, maybe they have a chance to sneak into a Big Ten championship game, or just finish with a strong enough record where they could get in. That Penn State game is second to last week of the season. So, yeah, it's not full send, but if they were a legit contender, then I think you come out and you bring out the belts on Michigan in this game. To me, because, again, we don't think Michigan is a legit contender this year with a freshman quarterback just turned 18 years old. I mean, we could easily be looking at this as a national championship preview for next year. I don't think that's crazy to say. But both teams are kind of trying to prove, hey, can we do it this year? So, again, interesting. But any other thoughts on this game?
Not that I know of. I think I'm a little higher on Michigan than you are. I think that even with Rice Underwood at being a freshly 18, he looks, I mean, some of those throws he was making, and Nebraska's defense is good. Some of the throws he was making were impressive, and the guy's got wheels too. So I don't think he's certainly not your normal freshman.
Yeah.
So I'm a little higher on him, but I don't know that they're certainly not a contender for the national championship this year. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Ja'Cory Barney, though, I don't know if he's sitting on any C2C waiver wires, but Ja'Cory Barney turned out to be quite a target for that young man, Mr. Raiola, today. My goodness.
Yeah. One final thing on this game, and again, I think the reason I don't like Raiola is because he does all the blatant Mahomes stuff where I'm like, you don't do all that stuff, wear the 15 and know that you're not intentionally doing it. So to me, I'm like, you would be so much more likable and it's not about being likable, but you wouldn't have as many people hate you if you weren't so blatantly trying to be Mahomes. And so anyway, I saw that on X today of like, hey, this guy would be so much more likable if he just wasn't, if he had a different number and he wasn't trying to do all the Mahomes mannerisms, Again,
I think,
you get it. For his generation, that's the guy that they're looking up to. That's the guy they're trying to emulate. So you get it, but that's partly why I don't like the guy. I'm like, okay, I don't like Mahomes. So if you're trying to emulate that guy, like it's a hard pass. So let's do a quick touch here. I know we're gonna pull Alo and Tyler in here really soon to do some NFL stuff. How's your Campus of Canton team doing? And then my question for you is, am I going to finally get my first win today? I was joking with you before the show. I don't think you could hear me because of the technical difficulties, but I was celebrating a Bo Pribula touchdown, and then I realized he wasn't in my lineup. So I was like, crap, that's not great, but too many leagues to keep track of. But I might get my first win over Ev Vinyls. I'm up by 49 points right now. I'm looking good in what I'm calling the best 0-3 team ever. But yeah, that's me. I'm hoping for a first win. If not, we might be looking at a fire sale this week. But how's your team doing on both campus teams?
Well, I don't mean to like douse your enthusiasm with water, but I'm looking at your lineup or your matchup against Ev Vinyls, and I'm seeing that one of his starting running backs didn't even start.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But
He was injured.
that's
He
a
was
part of-
doubtful or something. Hey, I will take it. I will take it.
Yeah, I think you've got the win here. He's got Elijah Surratt in the lineup, who had a huge game for Indiana last week, but Indiana is playing Illinois, not Indiana State. And so that's big. Let's see here. Garrett Nussmeier.
And what I was firmly expecting was Tyler beat the brakes off of me with the other Indiana wide receiver last week. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to get the other guy this week, and it's just going to be a Indiana pummeling. So, all right, we'll wrap it up here.
You're looking good.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll try it. So let's see. I don't know. We're going to go here.
You want to know who I'm most disappointed while you're doing that? Who I'm most disappointed in so far in Campus to Canton?
Oh,
Eric Rivers for Georgia Tech. That guy had so much hype, and I even drafted him pretty high, and he has underperformed for Georgia Tech every week now. So it's kind of disappointing. I know you have him on your team, but
no.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going. Welcome
It's going
into
well.
NFL.
You just scored again, even though they're not playing Indiana State. Look at them go.
Look at them
Indiana
go. Tyler will keep those Indiana updates going. So,
oh yeah, I will.
Shame on us for not figuring out this StreamYard ahead of time. It looks like we'll have to go back and forth from that to that. I don't think we can have the graphic up during. Anyway, minor details. Okay, so I'll throw this up, and then we'll go back to the beautiful faces. So my question for you again, Alo, Tyler, welcome back to the show.
Of course.
Hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday. All right, so my question is, which 0-2 team could surprise and get a win this week? So more specifically against a 2-0 team. So the options are, where's my options here somewhere? We've got the Browns at home against the Packers, the Titans at home against the Colts, and the Jets on the road against the Bucs. And again, we already mentioned it. Justin Fields is out, so it's the Tyrod Taylor show for the Jets on the road. But who do we think has the best shot? We're not saying any of these three teams will get it, but who has the best shots?
Tyler's not gonna like this one. I
know where you're going.
I honestly think, hear me out. So the Browns are horrible, and the Packers defense is so nice, and Jordan Love is playing at an elite level, MVP level. So I don't see the Browns even having a chance. And then with Justin Fields, it would have been interesting if he played against the Bucs, but he's out. Tyrod Taylor's in there, so that kind of takes me away from that. And the Jets defense is awful. I thought they were going to actually be good this year, and they're awful. So this leaves me with the Titans actually played the Rams good and the Broncos good. They could have easily won the Broncos game. I'm not going to lie. A couple drop passes and if they're made, those catches are made. You never know against the Broncos. And then the Rams, the Titans held in there. And what I saw was with what Cam Ward has, he's been making plays. So I feel like, don't get me wrong. The Colts are good. I think they're great. I think they're a good team. They could be great with the time going on, but I honestly think that the Titans can beat them. The Titans defense is nice.
Yeah. How about you, Tyler? Who do you think could
I absolutely follow the logic, and he's not wrong. If you're looking across the board there, the Browns, that's an uphill battle. The Jets is probably an uphill battle as well. The catch here, though, is we are getting Javarius Ward back from concussion protocol, and you're going to get Latu back. So that defense may look a lot more like the first week against the Dolphins, as you saw and what happened there. Now, of course, the Dolphins have continued to be the Dolphins there. My apologies. The truth is the truth.
It's true.
So, you have that as well, but give me the Jets. Actually, I think they're the ones that kind of sneak one here against the Bucs. So I just think Tyrod Taylor comes in, he finds a way to kind of bounce back here after a couple tough ones, and they're the ones who steal the win because of the Colts logging down in Tennessee.
Yeah. How about you, Booker? What do you think? Who's got the best shot?
I would not put any money on the Browns at all. I can see the logic as well with the Titans, and I really like Cam Ward, and I think he's going to be. I think he is the future there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I just am I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm not an Indianapolis fan, and I'm not just saying this for you, Tyler, but I'm amazed. Like they are a solid team, and I did not see that coming. And I think the key there is Danny Dimes actually playing like Danny Dimes. So I think Tyrod Taylor, he's like, I don't know, he might be, I think he's 52 or 55. I think he's collecting Social Security, but I do think that he's still got some wheels and he's got some weapons around him. Obviously Chris Godwin's out. Emeka Egbuka is questionable.
He's going to play, but yeah.
He's going to play, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, as of 11 hours ago.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. maybe he injures his groin within there. I don't know, but the Jets, I think they do sneak this one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
If any of these are, I think I'd put it on the Jets.
And as we get into our predictions, I got to fall on my 3-3 record from last week, but one of those was the Browns. I thought I didn't think they were going to beat the Ravens, but I thought they would cover. I'm going back to the well, not just to be. I think the Browns could surprise the Packers. Here's the reason why. I hear you on Jordan Love MVP level. There's something about the Packers where I just think they just piss down their legs at times against hard teams. Going into Cleveland is a challenging environment on the road. I just think this could be a letdown for the Packers. And of these three, I'm not saying that's my prediction when we get to this, but if I had to pick one of these three, I think it's more the Packers could have a letdown over my confidence in the Titans or the Jets but then that means I'm having confidence in the Browns, which is not a pleasant place to be.
Kevin, there are going to be 8 people in that stadium in Cleveland on Sunday.
No, come on, man. The dog pound is loyal.
Okay, fine. There's going to be 12. And we just lost any credibility as a podcast.
No way.
Picking the Browns over the Packers. The Packers are the hottest team. They're the hottest team.
You got Flacco trying to run for his life against Micah Parsons is what you're staring down the barrel of.
Yeah. I know it's not looking good after that 41.
That you're willing to do that.
You're blushing.
Great
you're
point,
blushing.
Tyler.
The 41-17 beatdown was not great. So, all right. So let's get into our predictions. So, again, last week, Booker, you were not here. I think we're gonna give you a 4-2 record for last week, just assuming you did okay.
It's very sweet.
Or we'll figure out how to do this maybe going forward. But again, I was 3-3, not so great. Alo 4-2. Tyler with the 6-0. So if you are looking for the advice, Tyler's the guy you want to be listening to tonight. So, all right, let's start here with Rams versus Eagles. Sorry, my eyes need to be checked. We got the Eagles at home, 3.5 points. Again, it was our trivia question that the Eagles ran for 599 yards in 2 games against the Rams last year. So you guys probably know where I'm going in this game, but let's start with you, Booker. Who wins this game?
Eagles. Matthew Stafford's back. Is not going to feel great after Jalen Carter stomps on it for the 15th time. The Eagles win it.
That's what I'm talking about. Tyler?
I'm right in line with you. We got the playoff rematch without the weather, but with the same outcome here. So I think if you look at it top to bottom, Eagles are the better team. Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua will find a way to get theirs. They'll still get some yards on the board. They'll probably get some touchdowns. Puka Nacua is an absolute animal. It might be the best wide receiver in the league currently at this time, the way some of the dominoes have fallen elsewhere. So I think they still get theirs, but Eagles still win it, probably looking at 24-20. If I'm a gambler, I stay as far away from this as I possibly can because it could go either way. But maybe sneak in a Saquon Barkley over for rushing yards there.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I will take the spread and take the Rams plus 3.5. I mean, I will say this.
You're picking the Rams. By rules of this, you're picking the Rams.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
you're not picking them outright, but we are going against the spread on this. So
yeah, I'll take the spread because I was going to say the Eagles and the Rams, every time they play, it's a battle. I think the Eagles will end up winning, but I do believe that it's going to be by like a field goal. I think it's a field goal at the end, and they end up pulling it off. But I think the Rams and them always battle it out. And like Tyler said, and you guys were saying, Puka's a beast, man. Like he gets his own, and that opens it up for Devontae Adams as well, like, and Kyron Williams too, because if Kyron Williams is running the ball, then, and remember last year in the playoffs, if it's not snowing, does LA Rams lose that game? That's all I'm saying, and the Rams they have a nice young defense. So I just think it's going to be a close game, so I'll take the spread.
But again, in that game, they knew that the Eagles were going to run the ball, and all the story was, they're going to stop the run this time, and they just did nothing about it. So I hear you, though. I mean, it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I'm picking the Eagles for sure. But one fun fact: Jalen Hurts has not lost a full game that he's played since Week 4 against the Bucs last year. So I'm actually more worried about that game next week, just because the Bucs are a tricky matchup. I think something with the way they play defense. And it's in Tampa. We have not had a good success the last couple of years in Tampa. So that's the game I'm more worried about. Maybe the Eagles are looking ahead but again, this team is focused, locked in. All the noise about Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball, and it's like all he does is keep on winning. So let's see here. Go to our next game. Here we go, Tyler. Why don't you kick us off on this one? We got Colts versus Titans. We talked about it a little bit. We got Indy 4.5 points on the road. Danny Dimes, do they cover? We're pretty sure we know who you're picking to win, but do the Colts cover 4.5?
Not only do I think the Colts win here, but I also think they cover the 4.5 here. The Titans do have a sneaky good defense. I was not a Danny Dimes believer coming into this. I am currently looking at that crow on the menu and just deciding how I want it. Do I want it grilled? Do I want it baked, a little bit of fried? I don't know how I'm going to order it. But he already had me eating it last week. Everything that I thought would eventually come up, the blitzing and the pressure, with the Giants, he usually made bad situations worse. I understand he was on a bad team, but you can make it even worse with the decisions and everything he was making. Quick stop with Kevin O'Connell, who just rewired that guy real quick, apparently, and sent him off to the Colts to start winning again. He showed me he can deal with even if the offensive line gives a little bit. And I think the defense is going to look, like I said, a lot more like they did with the Dolphins, with Shavarius Ward coming back. And then also you have Latu coming back into this game there as well. So more pressure, more lockdown on the outside. I think they look to take away Calvin Ridley. Cam Ward probably still gets the ball moving and gets a score here and there. But I think overall you see the Colts comfortably win this one and cover.
You know who can tell you how to cook and eat your crow? Xavier Leggett. The guy eats squirrels. There we go. I bet you he's eating the crow.
I thought it was going to be Kevin with his love of the Browns.
There was a Florida State take right there on the tip of his tongue. I thought I was going that route. So.
Do you want to?
I mean, you could. It's hard to say that this year when Florida State's just absolutely.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to sign into something here because it's. Yeah, that's right. All right, so Tyler went. Ayla, why don't you take us on this game, or did you just go? Excellent hosting. Look at this. Just
no, I'll go. No worries. I'm gonna go with Tyler too. Like I said, I think the Colts are gonna win. It was just out of those three teams that I had to pick, But I think the Colts have a great team. I think Danny Dimes looks really good. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know about the Giants organization. Yeah. And Jonathan Taylor has been running the ball great. He's always been a good running back. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Taylor. And my number one big fan, their best wide receiver, which is their tight end, Tyler Warren. That man's a dog. And I just think I think they cover the spread. I would bet on that. I think they cover the spread, 4.5 points. I think they win. I think it's a tough matchup because of the defense, but I think it's like 17-10. Yeah, something like that.
I'll go Titans on. I don't think they win this, but I think it's close enough that I'm going to pick the Titans for this. Maybe win by a field goal on the Colts. Late Danny Dimes field goal. I think Cam Ward. I don't know if both the Titans games have been on the road so far, but if it's his second game at home, or I think we'll see a better version of Cam Ward at home and the Titans. Hopefully, they can put up. Again, they could lose by 20 points easy if the Colts keep rolling, but I think the Colts or the Titans come out and play a pretty good game, and we get to see why Cam Ward was drafted number 1. So who do you got, Book?
I'm going to pick the Colts to cover the spread. I'm going to pick them to do so until they prove otherwise. So I do think Cam Ward continues to grow and progress, but even at home, Indy's rolling. So I'm picking them to cover. So
Like it. All right, this next one we got Joe Burrow, JJ McCarthy. We are going to have fireworks on offense. Wait a minute, the Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz Bowl. I kid you not, I'm in a dynasty league. I don't think any of you guys are in that league, where Jake Browning and Carson Wentz were both involved in a trade today, and I was like, in 2025, like, what a world. So, who do we got in this one? We got the Vikings at 2.5 points at home. Yeah, which backup quarterback gets the job done? Let's start with Alo on this one.
Yeah, of course. So I'm actually taking the Vikings with the spread because Carson Wentz at one point in his career was an MVP candidate in 2017. Yeah, those days are gone, but I just think he could, like, with their coaching, they're really good with the Vikings. So O'Connell, I could see them pulling it off. I could see them winning by 7 or more. And the other thing I will say is the Vikings defense is way better than the Bengals defense. I mean, that's what I was going to say. Look for Jefferson to take off because Carson Wentz can get him the ball and the Bengals defense is trash. So they're just going to rely on Browning throwing it to Chase and T. Higgins every time. So I just think the Vikings pull it off.
Yeah. No, I lean that way too. I'm gonna pick the Vikings. And I think we see a glimpse of the old Carson Wentz with confidence, playing in a good offense with a good play caller. I just think he's in there somewhere. And you see the confidence in quarterbacks when it drops, when they've taken too many hits. It just messes with them. And so I do think KOC's got something to help revitalize you guys or simplify the offense. If he can make Josh Dobbs look good, I just think he can do it with Carson Wentz with the pieces around him. So I think the Vikings win this game pretty easy at home. What do you say, Book?
I'm actually going to go the other way. I'm going the Bengals. I watched on my way home from a wedding last weekend. I watched the Atlanta versus Vikings, and I'm just, even with McCarthy in there, I'm like, what is going on? Like, this just does not look competent. And so I think Jake Browning is a different shade version of Jameis Winston. He's going to throw interceptions, but he's also just going to be tossing the pill and getting he's got all the talent in the world around him. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Tyler?
All right, that's fair. I see all the points there. Josh Browning has been known to come in for them and keep the offensive on track, and he's got weapons all around him. The problem is he's got to stare down that turnstile that's in front of him as all those rushers are coming from Flores. So I could see this one going either way. This could be super ugly. It could be disgusting. You might not even want to watch it, not bet on it, not anything on it, because it could be very ugly. It could also be an absolute roller coaster where Chase Browning has it rolling and King YOLO Carson Wentz finds a way to buy enough time behind a shredded offensive line for himself and just throw it into triple coverage and let Justin Jefferson do his thing. Yeah. So like you said, Kevin O'Connell, he's the whisperer. Look at his current resume of who he's resurrected. And you go with that. I think this more comes down to the defenses. The Bengals are not a great defense, and Flores has a way to still make his Vikings work, especially against that O-line that's a turnstile. So I'm taking the Vikings to cover it. Give me Kevin O'Connell resurrecting Carson Wentz and getting a good bounce back win here.
Absolutely. All right, so next game we have, here we go. We got Broncos, Chargers in LA. LA's 2.5 point favorite. Broncos on the road. I'll start this one. I think, oh, look at that. There we go. Whoops. My reason for picking the Broncos, I posted in a video earlier this week, is I just think they're salty after that loss to the Colts. Again, whether it was a legit penalty or not, it's just that extra motivation to say, you know what? I just think they're going to come in and play well in this game, and I think they get the win, and so I'm taking the Broncos. Booker, what do you got?
I'm taking the Chargers. I just haven't been able to really, after some of the picks you've made already in this show, I'm just not sure I can hitch my wagon. So I'm going Chargers. No, you're good. I think that offensive line in LA is stout. I think that Justin Herbert has been given the time to work, and Quentin Johnston Quentin Johnston.
Johnson,
He's finally living up to his draft stock. And so I like the Chargers in this one. I think it's Justin Herbert's year, although that defense over there in Denver, I think I would probably actually go the other way if this was at Mile High. But because it's in LA, I'm going the Chargers.
I thought you were going to say if I picked the other way, then you would have. If
That's
you picked
another-
the Chargers,
that's another
then
reason.
I'm going the other way. But Tyler, what do you think in this game?
I'm making questionable decisions because I'm agreeing with Kevin here. Let's not forget there is no home field advantage for the LA Chargers. They don't
That's right.
have real fans. No one actually shows up. So Denver may have more. They have a great team. Justin Herbert has looked fantastic. That offense has looked great. They'll probably, again, this is another one. It's not a great week for gamblers. Stay away from this one because it could go either way. But I agree with Kevin. I think Denver's pretty ticked off. I think Sean Payton is very disappointed with the way he finished that game. I think they left stuff on the table there and could have got that win against the Colts. No leverage in this one, though. So the Broncos steal a win on the road. They need to bounce back. So congrats to the boys at Crew Spots or Sports Talk over there.
Halo?
Killing me, Tyler. Killing me, man.
So I'm gonna also agree with Kev.
That's what I'm talking about.
I will say this. I think the LA Chargers haven't played a defense like the Broncos yet. So I think that's going to be a little tough for them. And I honestly, Bo Nix and Sean Payton going back at each other, I love it because the next day, the next game, Bo Nix balls out. And to be honest, Bo Nix didn't have a bad game. He had 3 touchdown passes and 1 pick. They should have honestly won that game. So I don't think it was it was a bad game. But the LA Chargers have played the Raiders and the Chiefs. And yeah, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but they're 0-2 right now. And the Raiders, godly, they're awful. But they just haven't played that Broncos defense yet. So I think the Broncos pull it off.
Kevin, please dub this, maybe a few of these takes, and then just over this, play the song All by Myself. And then just maybe put some tears coming down my face with AI.
We'll transform your face into the Jordan crying,
yeah,
with the Will Smith in the room by yourself. That may
become a different clip by the end. It may be the 3 of us crying and being like, "Golly, why did not one of us think?
Why did we agree with Kevin?
He chose the Browns, and we were just hitching our wagon every time."
He's trying to throw him a bone. All right, let's stay out west. We've got the Cardinals at 49ers, right? Yeah, Cardinals at 49ers. Home of Super Bowl this year. I don't know if either of these teams are going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl, but the Niners are favored 2.5 at home. Both are 2-0 teams, but it feels like they're 2-0 teams where they shouldn't really be. Again, I didn't watch both games, but when I just look at these two teams between the injuries and my lack of faith in Kyler Murray, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in either of these teams, but their records would say that they have a shot. So, Booker, let's start with you on this one. Who you picking, Cardinals or 49ers in Santa Clara?
I think the 49ers cover, and I've got a reason for that, and that's Mac Daddy Jones. Mac Daddy Jones.
Yeah. There we go.
The Cardinals are hard to believe in, man.
You and Jayhawks. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Jayhawks. Now I'm no longer by myself. It's about community, and you're there for me, brother. I don't have much else to say. I cannot. You guys are probably going to hitch your little wagon and put on the little toe straps and make sure that your chains are not dragging against the ground and causing wildfires and all of that. You're going to hitch your wagon to the Cardinals, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I won't do it.
I won't do it. Go ahead, Tyler.
Don't worry, Booker. You are not alone this time. I am also taking the 49ers to cover here. Shanahan, he knows how to do it. These are two, I think, Purdy or Mac Jones. There was the original enthrallment he had with Mac Jones. There were all those rumors surrounding that was his pick, and something changed last minute there, and they ended up going the other way. But now he has Mac Jones at his disposal. Of course, I still think he wants QB1. I think he believes in Purdy, and that's his chosen QB. But I don't think there's that much worry he has letting Mac Jones slide into that. It's a new world we're living in the NFL where these QBs can actually resurrect their careers at another stop, which kind of was the rarity once upon a time. So I do agree. Give me the 49ers covering. I think the defense is a little bit better there. Arizona will put some points on the board, but ultimately San Francisco covers at home.
Welcome, Tyler.
It was so warm over here.
I'm a big boy, so it's the body heat.
Yep.
And I was going to say, welcome me too, because there's just something about Kyle Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell. They can make me look good out there. So I'm just saying, I will say Mac Jones is going to have a game. He threw 3 touchdown passes last week.
Yeah, he looked good.
And the Cardinals almost lost that game to the Panthers at the end. And Bryce Young had a game. He had 3 touchdown passes as well. So I think with CMC, I think that he's just going to run all over them, and they're going to utilize them in different ways. And I think the 49ers win that game. I think Kyle Shanahan wins that game. But I also will say this too, Mac Jones, his first year, he made the playoffs when he had pieces around him. So I think with the 49ers, he has a decent team around him, good coaching staff. I don't think Purdy and him are that much off like Tyler said. So I think the 49ers win.
There's a time to swim upstream, and there's a time not to, and this is definitely not one of those. So I'm not. You're not going to find me swimming upstream for Kyler Murray pretty much ever. So I'm going to 49ers as well for all of the reasons you guys said. Also, Christian McCaffrey is still healthy, so yeah. I feel pretty good about that one.
Mm-hmm. I need to change my pick.
One quick rabbit trail. Someone in our other Campus Canton League had the audacity to offer me a trade for Jordan James today. And if he's listening, he knows who he is. But I had to do a double take because Jordan James, 49ers running back. I have Christian McCaffrey. This could be good. He's the 4th string running back on the 49ers. And I'm like, dude, I made some outlandish trades, no doubt. But to offer me that I thought was hilarious. Anyway, sidebar there. All right, Lions, Ravens, last game that we will talk about tonight, Monday Night Football. Quick. Honestly, will it be quick? I don't know. This is the best game of the week. I almost didn't have this one on there. I had other 6 games. I was like, oh, crap, this is the best game. So I have to go with this one. So Lions, Ravens at home for Baltimore, favored by 4.5 points. Let's start with Alo on this one.
Yeah, of course. So Lamar Jackson is 2-0 against Jared Goff and the Lions. I'm pretty sure he has 3 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown and no turnovers. So I will say I think that the Ravens always play the Lions well. And I think actually that the Ravens go in there and handily beat them. I think it's 7 points or more. I think the Ravens get that win for sure.
I'm going to go. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they don't they look good last week, but they don't have Ben Johnson anymore. They don't have their defensive coordinator that they had last year, Anthony Glenn. But it just doesn't look the same. They played a not so good team with the Bears. I mean, yeah, it's ran by Ben Johnson, of course, but they're he's working on little things with Caleb Williams, staying in the pocket, those things. It's just not it's been 6 months them together. So I just think that the Ravens outplay them and beat them. I think they beat them by 7 or more for sure.
I'm taking the Lions mainly because 52 points is 52 points in the NFL. Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to put that up against the Ravens, but I do think this is a high scoring game, and I think it comes down to a field goal late, who has the ball last type of game. Mm-hmm. I think the Lions offense is back, and they might realize hey, we're going to have to put up points to win games. I get the play caller argument, but I just think there's too many weapons. Jared Goff is a professional game managing quarterback, and he can. And I think he's elevated himself from just a game manager to I think he can play big in big games. And so, I think this is a high-scoring game, easily smash the over, even though it's a massive over. But, I'm taking the Lions either to win this outright or just lose by 3.
I am taking the Ravens to cover. As a Bills fan, the team that I am most afraid to see in the playoffs are the Ravens. Not the Eagles. The Ravens are a terrifying team. I think they're a complete team, and they just took their foot off the gas with the Bills, and the Bills are just that good. But the Lions, I hope Ben Johnson's family is not watching the game on Sunday, because there's going to be more cursing of that man's name in the stands. The Lions are just not who they were. They still have the talent, but they just seem like they can't find themselves. And so I don't think they're putting up as many points as you think against that Ravens defense, man. They're nasty over there in Baltimore. So taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, you're on your own on this one, Kevin. You and the Browns will sit there together with paper bags over your head. I'm sorry about you. I don't know what to make of the Lions yet. You played a really good Green Bay team, and then you played probably a bad Bears team that needs desperately offensive line help. Their offensive line kills more drives than anything. I don't know what to make of that. And when they can't stay on the field, the defense gets tired. And so I think Jared Goff is just going to be like that heat check guy in the NBA, where just some nights he is just absolutely lights out from behind the line, and there's other nights where he just goes cold, and you don't understand why he doesn't know how to hit a shot anymore. So I think in this one, they come back down to earth again, and then probably in the next game, skyrocket again. But Ravens win this one. It is a shootout, a little bit more of a shootout. But overall, I think Henry and that defense wears on the Lions overall, and they end up taking it at the end and just not giving the Lions a chance to get back in it.
Yeah, there's definitely something there of Goff in a dome versus not, but I'm gonna stand on my island over here, and if I have another 3-3 or worse week, then I might be picking last on all these games next week to make sure I can get the wisdom before I make a selection. But all right, any other thoughts on the spread this week? What we got on the Indiana game or the SEC game that you're following?
In other news, IU is not playing Indiana State University, is up 35-7 currently, running wild. Surratt actually, I think, has some touches. I'm not sure if he has a touchdown yet, but he does have some catches there, and Cooper has put up some numbers again as well.
Jeez, yeah. Let's see. Ev is climbing.
Oh, yeah, he's coming up on you.
He's at 172 projected. I'm at 189. I do not trust the Fantrax projections at all. It's their first year doing it, and I just don't think that they have a clue. But yeah, man, I'm nervous. I like that I have Waymon Jordan as kind of a final tiebreaker after everybody else is done. But yeah, geez.
If Indiana keeps trucking at this pace, Kurt Cignetti and Fernando Mendoza, and I think they've got certainly a playoff team, and they're not getting smashed by Notre Dame or who. I think it was Notre Dame last year. They are the real deal. I think this is their first real test. But I really, not to take away from what they're doing right now, but Illinois in the top 10. Is that where they're at? Are they in the top 10?
They're ranked
they're
9. They were 12 to start the season.
That's asinine to me. I don't. Yeah. Not to take that away though. They are a good team, but if Indiana keeps trucking the way they are, man, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. Yeah.
This is exactly what you want to see going into knowing that you got Oregon and Penn State coming up as well. An early true test to see where you're at. Kurt Cignetti is definitely comes from that Saban style where he just doesn't let up. He expects execution all the way through. And I think he was able to pull some recruits here. The Mendoza brothers, we're looking for a third. We're hoping. I don't know that he does have another brher, but if he does, then we may pull recruits for the next 15 years. I don't know.
Take him.
If his parents are still cranking him out or not. But it's Kirk seeing that he's setting a foundation there, and it's really exciting because if he does perform well this year, gets in the playoffs again, then it could look like a completely different program coming into next year.
Do you think that Kurt Cignetti would be willing to offer like some NIL money to the Mendoza family to get a reverse vasectomy?
There's possibilities there, depending on how long he wants to coach. That NIL has been ramping up to get the donations, and that might be to it right there.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I agree. I think Kirk's a great coach. I don't think that's a fluke. I love Fernando as quarterback. Even their running back, Roman Hemby. I like him too. Yeah,
they really do have a three-headed beast in the backfield there. Hemby, BB Jr. went down with an injury, but then they also have Black, and so they can it's pick your poison. And then once they start sucking into that run game, they have a great RPO. Surratt and Cooper look great, and so there's a lot to be excited for IU fans. That's for sure.
Right.
Hey, I would just like to say, let's go Canes, baby. 13-0.
Come on, man. But the Canes are the real deal. But they are at home against a pedestrian Florida team, man. I was really thinking they'd be up at least 21 at half.
I can see that too. It's just a rainy game. It's a rivalry game. So it's a little tough. But I will say, like, I would like them to be winning by more, but I think after halftime, you know, Mario talks to the boys and they come out swinging. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can see it.
Anyways, thanks everyone for watching this evening. Again, we don't have our little handles at the bottom here, but you can give Tyler a follow at Mr. Diesel 31. Right?
Got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. ALO Leagues, TSP Booker, TSP Kevin. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the show. Hit a subscribe on YouTube if you're still hanging around. You probably already subscribed if you're an hour 48 deep in this thing. But again, thanks. Until next time, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Alo.
of course.